Art is healing. Taking something that comes from within you and being able to externalize that mental health difficulty and allowing other people to hold it and share it with you.
Everyone sees it differently. And how do you feel when you see it? And it's a marvelous thing to see how people take something that might be visual and then make it visceral.
I always am stuck on what is the brushstroke, where was her hand, and what was she thinking about? I feel like her presence is so deeply felt in this work. That moment of being like, yeah, this is me free.
We have 19 paintings created by Thomas in her most fruitful and generative period between the 1960s and late 1970s. And they're organized into 3 themes Alma drew inspiration from throughout her life: music and nature, space and sky, and earth and the seasons. When Alma was a child, she would often go to her grandfather's farm and imagine what the brook was singing or what the trees were whispering. And so she linked music and nature together as sort of these kind of twinned expressions.
There's this, kind of background, and then there's this, coming forward. So you almost have this chorus, and then you have that soloist coming out. And it's wonderful because I feel like the leaves are really speaking, they're moving. The pink is almost like the sky to me. You know, how the sky can turn all those different colors. So hearing where she has taken her inspiration from, it just expands the imagination.
Alma saw her art as forward-looking. She aligned it with the scientific advancements of her day. She wanted to create a new art for a new future. Space was a place of liberation, right? It was a space of freedom. So through painting that, she could imagine another kind of world that was quite different than what was happening in our country.
This is Afrofuturism. The civil rights movement happening and then the space race, both are this movement towards a better future. And the fact that she captured that in that time frame is beautiful.
She is really charting a path at a very difficult time for Black artists, for people like me and artists like me to kind of exist now, that there's a real honoring that I have for her and her ability to see my future as being so beautiful and bright. It's absolutely a gift that she is giving us, is my relationship to it.
What was important to Alma was that she'd feel nature and the earth around her. Her studio was her kitchen. And she had this large glass bay window that looked out onto the backyard. So she would see the crepe myrtle, right? She would see the dahlias, and she would remember her experience in her garden and then paint that. And so what you see in this section is those memories. She also imagined how one would see a garden from an airplane, rows of plants and of flowers.
Gardening to a painter is that we get to work with our hands, move a plant and create forms and volume within a kind of different texture sphere, that different plants have all sorts of different textures and colors and flows in the wind. This is holding all the softness that I really have come to love in my painting currently.
This is a special opportunity, I think, for people that live in our surrounding communities to get a chance to experience Alma's work here.
It's a gift to our community, and it's also, our way of slowing down and being with her in time and in space and in all of her colors and her just extraordinary life. How fortunate that I would wake up and this would be the journey that I'm on today. Experiences from different points of view, and everyone will experience something different.
I'm walking out of here better than I came. I'm very inspired, ready to tap into my own creativity and be able to put my own art into the world.
I got to see for the first time so many of her works from a period of time where she was making and thinking so explicitly about mark making in her garden and how to imagine a world that is different than what we experience every day, and experience the work together and talk about the things that we see and experience just by being in front of her paintings.